Hi, I'm Bronte and welcome to Confidence in 10. These are top tips to help you build your confidence today in just 10 minutes. I work with young professionals just like you to help you find your true purpose and guide you to build your confidence so that you can step outside your comfort zone and go for those goals that are currently on your heart that seem too big or scary. I help you stop worrying about fear of failure and fear of rejection and stop worrying about what others think. I believe that everyone is a queen or a king and ruler of their own destiny. You just need to stop waiting around for someone else to crown your head and crown your own darn head instead. So today I want to talk to you about the importance of setting clear goals to build your confidence. Have you ever noticed how a confident person explains their direction and where they're heading with such conviction that you just want to jump on their bandwagon and go with them, right? That's because they have clear goals. Their belief in that goal is so strong, they know that nothing will stop them from achieving it. Drop a me below if you want to have that level of belief in your goals. Well, I'm here to show you how today. Look, I've always been very goal orientated and focused on the direction that I'm headed. I'm the sort of person who plans my life years in advance with a very clear direction of where I'm headed, which can make for a very interesting conversations with my partner who can't really commit to planning further ahead than tomorrow. But I think that's why we work. I think you need a balance of both of that in a relationship. So, I tend to come up with a grand plan. He loves just coming along for the ride, but he'll pull me back down to earth where my dreams are just a bit too high up in the clouds. And it seems to work all right. What I've found really interesting in observing myself is that your goals need to be crystal clear to you, but not necessarily to anyone else. I know where I'm headed. I've always known, but I'm not super vocal about it to others, which I'm guessing must be my secretive Scorpio side. Hands up if you're a Scorpio like me. Where my Scorpio sisters at? Love you. But no, I think it's because that fear of other people's opinions can hold us back. We all feel a bit of that. So my personal coping mechanism for that was to not tell anyone my plans or goals, and then if they don't know, they can't judge me, right? So I don't know, it's worked in some ways, it's worked pretty well, but I know that it can also hold me back in other areas, because if no one knows your goal and where you're working towards, they can't offer you opportunities to help. But I'm working on that, so bit of give, bit of take, because opportunities tend to come from the most unlikely places. So do you have any interesting stories that you like to tell yourself, or tactics you use when it comes to setting goals and your own personal coping mechanisms? I'd love to hear them below, because I know we all have them. There's little weird things that we do that we think no one else does, but they probably do. So I reckon you should share them below so that you can see that you're not alone in the weird sort of tactics you come up like that. If you have any stories that are holding you back from setting goals, it can be important to find out where that story originated from. It most likely came from your childhood, so that way you can reframe and rewrite the story that you're telling yourself and move forward and past it. For me, I know the exact moment I chose to stop telling people my goals and where I'm headed, and it was at a very young age, at an age where as an adult, kids can't plan goals and think of their whole life ahead of them, but they can, because I did. I was there. And I remember. So I used to ride my tricycle, so I'm talking very young preschooler, on my tricycle as a young kid, around the deck at home, singing at the top of my lungs, because I loved to sing, and my mum used to tell me to shut up, because I was terrible at singing. But I loved singing, and I loved dancing, and after I started school, and I started dance lessons, and through school I learned how much I love learning and teaching others what I'd learned. At that age, I used to come home from school, grab my youngest sister, middle one didn't want anything to do with it, grab my youngest sister, who was very little, my dolls, my teddy bears, line them up on the couch and teach them everything that I had learnt at school that day. I just loved teaching. And when I started dance lessons, that just confirmed my love for being on stage. So at some point between the age of 5 and 8, again, I told my mum how I wanted to be a teacher, but also perform on stage. I wanted to be a business owner like my dad, but be at home for my future kids like my mum, who was a work from home hairdresser. I wanted to travel overseas on holidays a lot. I wanted to do all the things. At which she laughed and shut down, as mums do. They try to protect you. I don't blame her. They try to keep you safe by bringing those dreams down a bit and telling you pretty much, no, don't be silly, you can't do that. Which of course offended me because I can do anything. I am a 5 to 8 year old with my whole life ahead of me, right? So I decided to bottle up those goals and dreams and just told everyone I wanted to be a teacher, because that was a goal that seemed most acceptable to everyone, that didn't get as much kickback from others. And spoiler alert, I still got judged for just wanting to be a teacher when you're so clever and bright and you can do so many things. You can't win. So you'll never, it's just a reminder that you'll never be able to please everyone. So why worry about their opinions? Because, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So just go for what you want to go for. You're going to be judged either way. Anyway, fast forward a couple of decades and I was working in the fashion industry because I was a terrible singer, I was a terrible dancer, even though I love those things, but I was kind of good at, the fashion textile subject at school, and fashion designers get to be on stage, even if it's very briefly. And I was planning on being a primary school teacher somewhere down the track when I had kids or something and I want to retire from the fashion world. And also I thought fashion, I could go all over the world with that as well. So that is where I was in my early 20s, but I never let go of my very crystal clear goal. And, I stayed open to opportunities. And then I learned at 24 that people could make careers teaching on a stage. What? No one told me about that while I was at school on careers day at the careers advisor. Like, how did I not know this? I want to be on stage. I want to be a teacher. And there is a job that you can create for yourself doing that, where you're not restricted by curriculums or low salaries or fixed pay and holidays. I thought, so I pivoted slightly, and that is now the current ultimate goal, is to be doing both those things I love. To take what I'm teaching and grow it to the point where I'm on stage teaching it to a stadium full of people, seeing thousands of lives change before me. Like, that will be, it gives me goosebumps thinking about what an impact that will be and how many lives that will change. So, cool story, Bronte. Why does my story matter? Because if I hadn't remained crystal clear on my goals, if I had let my mum's words affect me to the point where I'd given up my dream altogether, which happens to so many people, unfortunately, I probably wouldn't be here. I'd be stuck in a classroom somewhere teaching a bunch of 10-year-olds, which would still be awesome. I'd still be impacting their lives, but I wouldn't be fulfilled knowing that I was made for more and I could do bigger and better things. And you are made for more too. You need to know where you're headed and set your GPS. I'm sure you've all heard that mindset term about the GPS, know where you're going. Well, I'm here to remind you how true and important it is. The path isn't always a straight line to get there. In fact, I almost guarantee it won't be, and you'll have plenty of mountains and valleys to navigate along the way on your path. But if your goal is worth it, if you're willing to take on those challenges to get there, you'll get there. And how do you know if your goal is worth fighting for, right? Well, I want you to close your eyes and think about a Monday. Mondays, right? A random Monday 3 months from now. It's a standard old Monday after 3 months of working consistently towards your goal, whatever that goal may be. What does your day look like? Are you excited to get out of bed and start the day? Or are you suffering from Mondayitis and are pressing snooze on your alarm and be like, I don't want to get up? Are you still excited to work towards that goal today? If that answer isn't a heck yes, then you might want to adjust your goal, realign it a bit to something that excites you more. And it's okay if you don't know what the end goal, it looks like or how to get there. Just like I didn't know how to combine being on stage and teaching for like 20 years. I could set my GPS for a destination I've never been to. I don't know what it looks like, but I can head there anyway. I can take directions and advice from people who've been there before, who know where to go, but possibly, still take a few wrong turns and a few reroutes and as I go until I get there, right? And you might be thinking, well, I want to work on this goal, but I have to do this, I should do that. Just totally remove those words from your vocabulary. Reframe into, I want to do this. I get to do that. Words are powerful, and you're more likely to work towards something that, excites you, that you want to do. And when you want to go to some place and you know without a doubt that you'll get there, no matter how many mountains or wrong turns you must navigate, you'll be oozing with confidence, trust me, because you know you have what it takes to figure it out. Have beliefs so big that other people's opinions can't touch you. Just like my mum's opinions couldn't touch me. I've been carrying the weight of that anger for 20 years that she didn't believe in my goals. And that's okay. Don't hold it against her. And you want to know a secret? Someone who has done what you want to do, who's successful in that area, will never try to hold you back or tell you you can't do it. It's only people who haven't done the thing before or who aren't chasing their own dreams that will hold you back. My mum couldn't, she's never been a singer and a dancer and a teacher and traveled the world and been a business owner and also stayed at home and all the things, Of course she didn't know that I could get there because she's never been there herself, so she doesn't have the right skills to advise me on how to get there. Which is another thing that holds us back, is that our parents are our main advisors and our teachers growing up, yet they haven't done the things that we want to do in life most of the time. So the quickest hack to getting to your goal faster is to get around people who have achieved it before. That's why I spend my spare time listening and watching other coaches who are where I want to be, other motivational, inspirational speakers. That's why I invest money into people who are where I want to be to teach me how to get there. That's why you type your destination into Google Maps, because Google's been there before. It knows the way and it can give you a clear vision, a street view of where you want to go, where you're headed. So find your Google Maps when it comes to your goal, keep it crystal clear in your mind, protect your vision from naysayers, and grow your confidence so big that other people want to jump on your bandwagon and come for the ride too. So remember, I believe in you, you've got this, and glow on, girlfriend.